Hello and welcome to School Beat. I'm Enrique Cerna. Believe it or not, there was a time that this was considered high technology in our schools. Well, we've certainly come a long way. Today, teachers and students are using technology within all content areas to collaborate, communicate, generate innovative ideas, and to investigate and solve problems. But it's not the tools that are important, it's the teaching. And today we'll be visiting with several teachers who are using innovative technology to help their students develop important skills for the 21st century. Joining me now are two teachers involved in STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math programs at their schools. Ashley Toney teaches kindergarten at K-5 STEM School at Boren, and David Friedle teaches high school students at Cleveland. Welcome to you both. Good to have you here. Well, David, let's start with you. Talk about technology and integrating it into language and arts and social studies and that curriculum at Cleveland. How do you do it?
Well, we're very lucky at Cleveland that we have a one-to-one laptop program, so every student who comes into Cleveland gets a laptop.
That's great.
Which is fantastic, and particularly because a lot of our students in particular don't have those resources at home. So we're very conscious to make sure that all of our courses use those laptops as much as we can. And we're also conscious about making sure that we don't just use them for surfing the web or sort of the low-level work. We're really trying to leverage those laptops so they're producing products that have, socially redeeming messages. So they're doing podcasting and PSAs and videos and graphic design projects, so that when they eventually get out into the workforce, they can use that technology to actually say something of value, and we think that's really, really important for our kids.
That actually is going to give them a leg up, I would think.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So Ashley, talk about technology in your classroom and how it helps your students.
Well, I teach kindergarten, so we have 5- and 6-year-olds, and what the approach that we have is basically to expose the kids to different types of technology. So we have handheld tablets, we have the interactive whiteboards, and it's really having the students see that in use every single day. So it becomes just common, they feel very comfortable, they present their work to the entire class and collaborate with other classes too.
Do you find that even at that age, that these kids are kind of tech savvy?
Yes, absolutely. It's just inherent to them.
And do they teach you new things?
Absolutely. Well, they're very inquisitive, so they will use something, a program, or they'll come up with new ideas of how to show their work or how to share with others, or they'll come up with ideas of, hey, why don't we do this on the interactive whiteboard? And
David, you too. I mean, I would imagine kids at the high school level, they may be way far advanced on some of these things.
There are definitely kids that leverage that come into the classroom better prepared with their technology than some of our teachers. Obviously, we're focused on the art of teaching and don't always get all the training that some of those kids get very excited about. So yeah, I do teach technology, so it's my job to stay ahead of them, but even then I have students who come in with strong backgrounds in tech, and I always love to learn from them.
Are they willing to test the boundaries of the technology that they have and to try new things with it that maybe most of us that are a little bit older aren't willing to do so?
I hope they do. That's my job, to inspire them to do that. Yeah, if they're not challenging me or testing the boundaries, then I don't know if we're using technology to its fullest.
How has it made you a better teacher?
Well, it provides more access to all the students. So, for example, if we're observing snails and the movement and what they're eating, we can play it back several times. So, if in a classroom of 20 students, if they don't all see or witness that particular experiment, we can replay it over and over again. And then also we celebrate moments. So when a child finishes a project that they're very proud of, we can record it, we can share it with parents and the community. It really allows each student to feel connected in a unique way.
How about for you?
I think at the high school level, for us, it's about the collaborative nature of technology. So now the school day doesn't necessarily end at 3 o'clock. Now the students can continue working on their products after 3 o'clock, and they can still communicate with us. So they're uploading projects, on the web. They're conversing with experts in the fields via email, through social media. They're getting feedback from us, and so now it's no longer a school day that sits from 7 to 3. Now it's 24/7, and I think that collaborativeness really makes a big difference in how much we can ask of the kids.
There's also a hands-on approach to this, it seems, that would keep them interested rather than just having your head buried in a book or listening to a lecture, that they're actually creating something. And I would imagine that that helps a lot too.
Yeah, well, I mean, being a STEM school, of course, they have a lot of elective classes in engineering and biomedical that are very hands-on and highly popular among the kids. But now you take it to a language arts or social studies class. Now they're making films, they're making podcasts, they're leveraging social media. That is very hands-on to them as well, and that gets them pretty jazzed up.
What has surprised you? I guess even the kids at the kindergarten level.
Well, all the kids are interested in using the technology. And even, I mean, when I was growing up, there were always children who were shy, who didn't want to come up and present. Now every single student wants to come up and present. I mean, the child that sits in the back, who's always quiet, even she wants to come up and show the whole class her math or her illustration. That's the best part for me.
I would imagine that really builds their confidence a lot here too. Let's talk about STEM. When we talk about STEM, it tends to be just science, technology, math. But what about the arts in all of this? How are you using it?
At Cleveland, we're taking a lot of steps to make sure that the traditional art programs are still alive and thriving, and we've increased the number of students in music. We have a thriving, drawing and painting and sort of the traditional arts. But since we're a technology-based school, we also have other courses like filmmaking and multimedia, which are courses that exist in other high schools as well. It's not special to Cleveland, that are getting at the ability of students to communicate artistically, and we think that's very important. If it's only engineering and math, we know that's very, very important, but there's also a creative side that we need to nurture with students. So we often joke about that it's not really STEM, it's really STEAM, and we should have a focus on
there too, huh?
Yeah, and in language arts and social studies in particular.
Yeah, and how about you at the kindergarten level with these kids?
Well, with the young kids, it's more of exposing them to new tools. So maybe they use a paint program. We record songs, videos, and the kids actually can see themselves engaged in these activities, and that is a powerful tool.
Any surprises that you can tell me? Any quick story about you've been surprised with what the kids have done?
Well, for me, it's just the kids coming up with their own ideas about how to use the technology. We'll be doing something that's very hands-on, writing or just drawing or doing math, but they'll want to integrate the technology themselves. So they're coming up with their own innovations at this level. And then they're always asking me, we have a little joke, well, will this be on Netflix?
How about you, very quickly?
It's always the case that students that sometimes are really those shy students or those students who are not active in class will come out with a project that just blows everybody away, and I always have a handful of students to do that, and it's their chance to have their voice be heard through technology, and maybe they're not as good at it in a social setting.
All right. Well, continued luck with your work, and let's hope that we're going to be creating the next young scientists and filmmakers, and we appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll meet two more innovative teachers who found some big rewards using a little machine, the iPad.